record button. I don't really know if, okay, it says it's recording, so haha, it's recording. All right, so my name is Brittany Sloth. Obviously, I'm not Allie Pilkington, even though it says that I am. I just logged in with her. So I'm Brittany Sloth. I made it once upon a time to AMM with Allie's help, and that was a long time ago. I've been in the business for about a year and a half now, and I'm gonna be real with you guys. I gave up. I was like, you know what? I'm in Germany, I'm moving, you know, like I am going to school. Like, I don't have time for this. Like, I really wanted to. I made a bunch of excuses. I basically gave up. It was still working, but I basically gave up, and I'm not gonna lie. So this is me starting from scratch again. I'm basically starting from the beginning, but I've learned a lot in my time where I stopped and then kind of recouped. So this is my first training ever, so fingers crossed, just bear with me that it doesn't go bad or I don't sound crazy. So I decided to put together this kind of like training. So when I put it as time to be realistic, it's because I needed to be realistic with myself. And I am in the military and I made a lot of excuses on why I couldn't do XYZ. I am a executive assistant by day, basically. So somebody else's life literally controls mine. They're public figures. So I always got caught up in like not wanting to do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing or like do something to jeopardize my boss. And then I kind of realized like I'm really just letting my fear of like success or failure kind of stop me from doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So time to be realistic. So we're gonna just take the first like 2-3 minutes and write down realistically how many podcasts do you listen to. And this is weekly, monthly, it can be whatever number you want to do. Same with trainings, like they can be the Facebook Lives, they can be the Zooms, they can be the ones that are in the all-in group, just trainings, whether it be in the back office or this way. And then same with lives. How many lives are you listening to? Whether that be on Instagram when somebody in an upline or a sideline is doing live, or doing something like this again, or again, Facebook. So kind of just be realistic with yourself and kind of jot down realistically, what are you doing? Because that's the only way you're going to get better is if you're real with yourself. Luckily, no one's going to see this but you, so you can be as honest as you want with it. And then secondly, after that, if you're doing less than 3 a week in either of those categories, why? Why aren't you doing more? It's really good to be honest with yourself. If you're saying, oh, I work too much, or, you know, I have school, or I just don't have time, like be honest with yourself on where your pain points are and where your could do better points are at. And then if you're doing more than that, why are you doing more than that? And how is it helping you? So kind of just be real with yourself on that aspect. And then if, you know, people can just like type in the chat box when they're done, that way I can see if I need to move on or not. And then once you've done that, kind of reread what your why was. And if it sounds like it's whiny or it sounds like a bunch of excuses, like literally read it back to yourself, because sometimes we don't hear it when it's in our head and when we're thinking about it. Put a letter next to why you're feeling that way. So I put the letters down below. F is for fear. So you're afraid of what people will think, or you're afraid of failure. K is I don't have the knowledge. So Maybe you don't know what podcast to listen to. Maybe you don't know where to start with the videos. And then T is for time. Are you making it a priority or are you not? That one's pretty cutthroat and simple. Basically for mine is time. Like it's not a priority and it needs to be a priority. And I have time where I can do it. And then question mark, just, you don't really know why. You haven't dug deep enough, but you know that it's affecting you in some way, shape, or form. All right, so then we're going to move on to questions 2 and 3. Question 2 is how many times do you post about the business, whether that be products or opportunities? How many times do you do it daily, weekly, and monthly? And you can do 3 numbers on each line. And it's on your social media stories. So are you utilizing stories, Instagram, Facebook, and then how many times you're posting on your feed, whether that be in a group, whether that be on your actual Instagram feed or your Facebook feed, whatever your social media outlet you like to use. And then 3 is how many times are you actually pitching in real life to a real human being? Part of what we're doing and part of what makes you successful is putting the knowledge out there, but then also reaching out to people. So how many times on a day are you talking to an actual person instead of posting? How many times in a week? How many times in a month? And then we're going to do the same 3 questions. If it's less than 3 times a week or 3 times a day or 3 times a month, say why. Why are you not doing that? And then again, if it's F, if it's K, if it's T, or if it's a question mark. So we're going to do that. Okay, so now we're going to go on to like the second portion of this. Now it's time to dig deeper. So those ones were just kind of like basic, these are why I think I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or why I'm not succeeding in the way that I want to succeed, or why I'm not listening to the trainings that I want to be listening to. So the question is, write down your why. Your why is so important, and you'll hear everybody talk about this all the time. So write down your why. It's always good to remind yourself what your why is and why you're doing this, whether that be, for your family or for, college payments or whatever your why is, write it down. So once you've kind of written down what your why is, read it out loud or just read it to yourself and genuinely ask yourself if it falls in one of these three categories. Are you doing this for the money? Are you doing this for your own personal growth? Or are you doing this to help others? And then once you figure out which one it is, kind of write down why you chose that answer. This is important to kind of know what your why is and where it underlines, because that's going to showcase when you make posts, when you make content, when you go live. So knowing those things and deeper into it is really going to help kind of show your authenticity, whether it be for helping people or whether it be for making money. It's going to help you prospect a little bit differently, and then you're not so all over the board. Hey, Angela. So I am on the now it's time to dig deeper. So I'm having everybody write down their whys, and then I'm having them kind of read their whys out loud and ask themselves, are they doing it for money? Are they doing it for personal growth? Or are they doing it to help others? Yes, Tess, absolutely. Absolutely. I just refound my why in such a great way. My why used to be I just wanted to travel, and you could see that. I was literally just doing it for the money. And unfortunately, like the way that I was doing it, I was so hungry and I was just chasing money and I wasn't actually trying to help people, which was fine for some people. Some people like really were like, hey, I respect that. That's kind of the lane I want to go to. But it really changes kind of how you're reaching out to people, because you can't tell somebody that you're going to make their life better if you're really only going for like your own personal gain, basically. All right, I'm going to give you guys like maybe a minute or two more, and then we're going to move on to the next. All right, so now that we've kind of talked being realistic about where your priorities lay, what you're doing to kind of benefit your business, and what your why is, now it's time to get really uncomfortable and talk about what you're scared of. Everyone's scared of something, whether that be failure, whether that be pitching to MPs. Like for whatever reason, I've been doing this for so long, I hate pitching to MPs. And how is my business going to grow if I can't pitch to MPs? Like, it's so frustrating, but that's my weak area. So it could be that you're too afraid to go live or try the reels, or just basically rejection. That's like kind of underlying where mine's at, or pitching, whether that be to MPs or to VIPs. And then once you've done that, again, dig deep on why you're afraid of that and label it with F for fear, K for knowledge, T for time, or question mark for I don't really know yet. And if you guys need me to slow down, please just like write in the comments.
Sorry, I just joined. I missed.
Hi there. Okay, so we are on section 3 of it, which is now it's time to get uncomfortable. Everything's pretty self-explanatory, so I'll give you a few moments to kind of go through if you really want to go step by step. Luckily, this doesn't kind of go, they all go hand in hand, but it's not like a step 1, 2, and 3. So right now we're talking about what you're afraid of, whether that be going live, pitching to MPs, VIPs, whether that be talking about the business, rejection, just what you're afraid of. And that's on page 3. And then after you've kind of listed out what you're afraid of, you're going to dig deeper into why you're afraid of that, whether that be fear, whether that be you don't think that you have the knowledge to talk about it, whether that be time, you're not making it a priority, or question mark, because maybe you don't know. Maybe you're just like, I don't know why I'm afraid, but I am. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Amy, you're due soon. Are you excited?
I am excited, but also like terrified. So my 2.5-year-old was born at 34 weeks and 3 days. I'm 34 weeks and 2 days right now. And so I'm like, I know that it's happening soon. It just like could literally happen tomorrow, and it could be another 6 weeks. So it's just like trying to map out this month and plan for something that you just have no idea when it's going to happen. It's like,
Yo, your organization skills are about to come in clutch.
I'm just happy my husband has like a month and a half off of work so that I'm not like just out here doing it by myself, because I would lose my mind.
Oh, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I'm like, it's time to get organized. Like I sat down with my planner earlier and like actually had like a heart-to-heart with my planner and like reprioritized and focused stuff. But I'm just like, I feel like we're as ready as we can be, and I'm nowhere near being ready. So we'll just see how it goes.
Elizabeth, it looks like your dog wants to get in on the training.
Do something.
He literally just got neutered, and so he's on one right now.
I love it. I love it. Well, if everyone's good, they can just give me a thumbs up or, put something in there, and then we'll keep going on. All right, so we're going to go on to the next little section. Elizabeth, you good? Okay, cool. So finding your training niche. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some things that have helped me, some things that I know have helped others on this one. This one's going to be more of a take notes when you want to, but this is just going to be like helpful tips, tricks, and things that are really going to kind of make your business bloom. So podcasts. I live, die, breathe by podcasts because I'm not always around to catch the trainings or the lives or anything like that. I listen to your virtual upline a lot, and I also listen to the Angie Lee show. I like the Angie Lee show, but she kind of throws in other things from there all the time, and it's kind of frustrating. So I listen to those four. I listen to them on the way into work, since work's about a 15-minute drive for me, and on the way home, since it's about 30 minutes with traffic. And that way I can actually get some training, I can get some knowledge, and I can really set my mindset and my goal planning stage from the minute I wake up going to work to the minute I start to take that uniform off, because once I'm in uniform mode, like I gotta stay in uniform mode. So it's been really tough, but I've had to make it a priority, and that's what I do. I don't listen to music in the morning. I listen to my podcast, or I'll listen to a live here and there that I am like, hey, that's gonna really help me out. And that kind of helps me get into the mindset of of like basically what I'm going to do that day. So then the second one is going to be organization. So map outs on a calendar. 2 of them were sent out recently about post ideas and what you can do for the whole month of September to kind of keep yourself organized. For me, I get really overwhelmed when I look at a month. Like it just, I don't know if anybody else is that way, but for me, I need to take it in smaller chunks. Otherwise I'll get overwhelmed with my daily, like my day job basically. So I put it out on my phone calendar. I will map out a week on my phone calendar of, hey, I want to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. And when I get home, I'll start making the content for those days. It might not work for everyone, but for me, it works really well. I also use Excel sheets to kind of keep myself organized. I like Excel sheets, but I know some people really like Google Share. So those are 2 other options you can use to kind of keep yourself like organize and keep yourself accountable. What I like about using my Google, or not my Google, but like my phone's app is I can set a reminder, and I have one that's reoccurring every single day that says, did you do your 3, 2, 1 today? Did you make content today? And I do it, and I have it reoccurring at about 8:30, 9 p.m. That way I'm still awake. And if, I'm done with dinner, then that's what I can focus on. But I do it as a reminder, because if not, I'm going to forget. I'm working like at 100 miles per hour every single day. So it's a really good daily pop-up of, hey, do this, focus on this, and then you'll be good to go from that point, at least for me. Not the same for everybody else. Hey, Paige, welcome on. We're talking about the training niche. So the next one that I want to talk about is, if you look on page 4, I have this little Excel sheet set out. So the other day, Allie talked about kind of organizing your VIPs and organizing your MPs and your prospects and your current customers and things like that. So she talked about how she does it on Google Share. For me, I do it on Excel. I have it on my computer, and every time that I have either brought on a VIP, I've talked to an MP about something, I have it in this setting where I put down their name, I put down what day I talked to them, I put down what their pain point is, because that's always really good to know. If it's a VIP, it's going to really help you when they go for flex-ships or when you check back in with them, or if they haven't bought yet, you'll know what their pain points are for the day that those flash sales come out. I also put down what I recommend to them, because when you are talking to so many people and you're prospecting to so many people, it's really easy to mix it up. And you don't want to sit there and scroll back through your messages and be like, hey, what did I recommend to this person? I don't remember, because 2 weeks ago they might not want to buy, but now they want to buy and they're ready to set in an order, but you don't remember what their order is. They're not going to remember what their order was. They're going to be like, oh, you recommended some shampoo and some conditioner to me. So I always put down what I recommended for them, for their hair type, and for their pain points. And that's just for my VIPs. If it's an MP prospect, maybe what pack you were trying to get them on, that maybe they're like, oh, you know what, I'm really interested, but I want to do it later. I've had a few people, VIP and MP both, say, oh, I get paid on Friday, let's do it Friday. You can build their cart for them, but chances are that cart's going to expire before Friday. And then the last column is, did they order? Yes or no? And if they did order, what did you put them on? Because maybe they're not going to go for everything that you recommend, but maybe they want that on their flagship, or maybe they want that on their next order. And that way you kind of know what they have. So when they come back to you and they're going through a detox and they're like, hey, I really like the conditioner that you gave me, but the shampoo makes my hair really oily. Like, what do you recommend? And that way you're not giving them the same thing that they already have at home. Like, how embarrassing. I've done that before. It's really awkward. And that also saves you from having to go into like your back office and search through there and search your past orders and wait for that to download. You kind of already have it right then and there. And then it also gives you kind of what day they ordered and when their next flex ship's going to be, give or take, or, if they just ordered, chances are they're probably not going to want to get on a flex ship or on a flash sale. Maybe they do if it hits their pinpoints, but if you're like, hey, I know you ordered yesterday, but there's a flash sale today, you want to get a bunch more? I'm not saying they all will, but realistically, some of them are going to be like, dude, I just bought stuff from you. Like, no, I'm good. So I found that that is really helpful for me. And then I can also keep in there my prospects, you know, like who I've reached out to, what day I reached out to them. It helps with flash sales, and I can be like, hey, you know, we talked a couple weeks ago, this thing's on sale, like let's get in on it now. I mean, you can add those other things as well. So I really like using Excel, but again, Google Share is a really good one as well. So prospecting, 3-2-1. So a girl just did it. I think her name's Lauren. She just did it in the All In Facebook group yesterday. So she went really into 3-2-1. If you don't know what 3-2-1 is, it's going on Instagram, liking 3 pictures, commenting on 2 of the pictures, and then doing some kind of engagement, whether that be with their story or if they have a live or anything like that. Just kind of engaging so that you're there. She recommended that you do anywhere from 10 to 20 a day. So that's why I have that little calendar reminder, like, hey, did you reach out? And then the next day when they come on, you can just page star them. If they respond right away, go ahead and page star them or write their name down in an Excel spreadsheet, however way you want to do it to make yourself organized. I have like 1,000,010 ways, but Excel and like giving myself little reminders is the best way for me because I get way too busy, as we all do. I mean, everyone's got a life outside of Monet. Looking by location. So sometimes you can look by locations. It's another method close to the 3-2-1 where you're doing the same thing. You're looking for people in your area. You're looking for people that have the same likes as you. You're looking up the same hashtag. It's a tool that's in Instagram. It's really easy. Sometimes I'll do like 5 people in San Diego since I just moved here. Sometimes I'll do, you know, Los Angeles, or I'll do my hometown in Portland, and I'll kind of mix it up, or places that you've traveled that you really like. That really helps too. And then groups you may be in on Facebook. So being military, I'm in a few like military women's groups. And when the women come on and talk about hair problems or skin problems, that's automatically kind of my, hey, I saw that you're struggling with this, you know, maybe I could help you out. And at that point, we're already talking, we're in this group, we have same likes, we have same lifestyles, something we can relate to. And that's just for me, you know, maybe you're in a cooking group on Facebook, or a spouses page on Facebook, or a mommy page on Facebook. Somebody at some point is going to talk about something that's really bothering them. Some girl just talked about burning her face with a curling iron. And I was like, yo, Rejuvenate oil, you'd love it. You know, something like that. And some people talk about mask knee. Everyone's talking about mask knee. Like, berry scrub right there. Let's get a good healthy exfoliant on the face. And then let's get them a good moisturizer and a good cleaner. And it's all, you know, the products are toxic free, they're vegan, they're gluten free, you know, they're natural. So they're gonna be good for your skin while we're sitting there suffocating ourselves with a mask, just letting carbon dioxide just like rake all over your face. And I know a lot of people don't brush their teeth after they eat and they put that mask on, and it's just bad. It's just bad. So that's something to kind of keep in mind when you're looking or scrolling on Facebook. Like, that's a really good way to make use of your scrolling time on Facebook, is just looking for things like that when you're scrolling. So talking about social media, I listed helpful apps. If anybody has other helpful apps, they can definitely write it down on the chat side. But these are some of the ones that I have on my phone. There's Teza, there's StorySheet. StorySheet is one of the new ones that a lot of directors are using now, and it's really fun. You know, they're the ones that do the loading, the 3-2-1s, and the flashing pictures. It's so easy to use. I built one in like 2 minutes, and I was like, wow, this is not hard. And they look so good, and there's tons of templates. I'm a big, like, I am big on spending the $2 or the $5 or the $20 for the year, so for the subscription, because it really helps. Plus, when you're doing your taxes, that's a write-off. That's a write-off for your business. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Taxes, while you're a, you know, business owner, you're going to be on a different W form. I think it's like a 10, don't quote me, I need to find it, but it's like a 1048 or something like that. but it's something different. Every state handles business owners differently because that's what you are. You're a business owner and you're going to be taxed like one depending on where you live. So you're going to want to keep track of those. Luckily, your iTunes account or your Samsung account or your Google account will keep track of what you're spending on what apps monthly and yearly. So that's a really good tax write-off, and it's going to make your content so much better because you're going to have those options. It's not going to be just the plain Jane stuff that everybody else has. So it's going to take you to the next level. Unfold. I love Unfold. I love the little templates that they have. It's really easy. You can duplicate slides if you're doing a lot of the same things. Like if you're doing shout outs for people, you can duplicate the same slides and just change the words. And that way your font stays the same, your layout stays the same, it stays nice and it stays clean and it stays consistent. And that's a big one, is consistency. InShot, I don't really use this one, but I know Sam Gomes uses it a lot, and she does it for her videos. So she swears by it. I have it, I've used it, but it's not one that I'm familiar with. Same with Magisto, I don't know, Magisto. Trelina uses that one. I've used it a few times to do videos and kind of make them pop a little bit, but you know, that one's a little more tech advanced for someone like me. I just am not really good at it, but it has the ability to slow things down, speed things up. It puts it in a cool little template. So it's worth just checking out if you are kind of bored with Unfold or you're bored with Tezza. Same with Slow Fast. So I know some people have the ability to actually do that on their phones, or Tezza does it as well. But I use Slow Fast sometimes because it lets me like slow it down and speed it up to the speed I want for certain things. Again, you don't have to use it. It's just one that I like. Does anybody have any other ones they want to kind of throw out there that maybe I missed or that's helpful for them? Nope. Okay. These ones are pretty much the basic ones that like everybody uses.
Did you say Cut Story?
No, I don't have Cut Story on there.
So I use that one just to cut the videos into 15 seconds for the Instagram.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I think InShot might do that as well. Don't quote me, because again, that one's not my main expertise, but I have heard of Cut Story. Yes, good point. Good point. All righty. So then next is going to be showing up daily. You're going to get, the longer you stay in this business, the more you're going to hear this word, consistency. Like literally be consistent 24/7 with your posts. I know that it can be hard when you're super busy or when you're traveling or when you just worked a 12-hour shift. Like the last thing you want to do is go on social media. But I promise, whether that be just getting on there for a second, just to talk about your day, you're gonna keep giving Instagram the algorithm that you are alive and that you're important and that you're actively using the app. So they're gonna put you above everyone else. Nella talked about posting at least 3 times during the day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening, because you're gonna push your story back to the very beginning of everyone else's stories. When you're fighting, you know, when you think about it, and there's 1,500 people or somebody's following like 600 people, and out of those 600 people, there's people posting every day and consistently, they're gonna be the ones that are always in those top like 5, 10 little story blocks that you see on Instagram. So the more you post, the more you push yourself to the front of the line. So that's really important to do. Another thing is to be consistent with your types of post, if that makes sense. So don't like be throwing out bright pink stuff one day and then the next day it's like completely dark, unless that's your patterns and that's like what defines you and that's like your color scheme. But also with what you post. So if you're gonna prospect MPs that day, stick to MPs. Unless there's a flash sale going on, don't sit there and be like, yeah, let me shove MP down everyone's throats and what's great about being an MP. Oh yeah, but don't forget about VIP too. stick to one a day. I used to be really bad about just thinking I needed to throw everything out there. It takes time and it takes consistency for people to start realizing that you're doing something good. So if you're talking about being an MP, do the post and do the flat lay or do the live, but then tie it back to yourself. So if you're going to do a post and you're going to do some kind of just a regular content that you made in Unfold and you post it and you're talking about all these people that are getting money or getting the Cadillac or getting free trips, tie it back to yourself. Tie it back to, you know, I joined because of XYZ, or my upline actually just got a Cadillac. Like, tie it back into your business so that people know that these are real things actually happening to you and to the people that you're involved with. That way it kind of shows that it's not a scam, because a lot of people are going to be like, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Oh, you know, it's a scam. It's fake. I don't want to hear about it. And same with VIPs. If you're talking about a flash sale for the Rejuva beads, which just happened, talk about how your split ends are looking. Like, tie it back to your hair, tie it back to that first day that you washed, tie it back to those, you know, where your hair was and where it is now. Talk about your journey, tie it back, because that's going to make it more than just a picture that someone's clicking through. It's going to give value to that picture. And that's the biggest thing, is bringing value to your life, to your posts. And it's also going to show you that you're authentic. And that's like the biggest thing. You know, when I first started, I really only wanted it all about the money. But recently, when I decided to come back and I was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to help people. I really love the way my hair feels now. Like, this has actually changed my life, and I believed in it. More people started to see that I absolutely loved my hair, that I loved the way things were changing for me, that I was legitimately being successful. And that's when they started reaching out to me. Last month, I had one of the best months I've had in a long freaking time. And I'm so proud of myself. But I also wasn't trying to shove stuff down people's throat. People started coming to me more often. I was attraction marketing because of the fact that I was tying it back to myself, and I was tying it back to what it was doing for me, versus saying, oh no, it's going to be great for you. It's going to be great for you. I promise. No, I said, like, this is why it's going to be great for you. Look what it's doing for me. And so many people were like, oh my God, all you do is talk about the oil. Like, I really want to know about the oil. Like, please help me. Or somebody saw the Rejuva beads split end mender and then saw the comparisons, and she's like, dude, I don't know why I've been waiting on this. Like, it's time. I don't know why I've been waiting. That video sold me. Like, let's get me set up, because I had already pitched it to her once upon a time. So even if people are ghosting you or saying, no, not right now, they will come around at some point. I got like 5 people that came around over the last month that were just like, okay, I'm ready. I need to do this. Like, that's all you keep talking about. It must be real. Like, it must be a good thing, because you're not going to talk about things that are fake and that don't work. So I was more genuine with what I was talking about. I was more genuine on why I was doing things the way that I was doing things. I was more genuine on me actually wanting to help people. And that's kind of why I had you guys go back and ask yourself what your why is, and digging deeper back to those 3 questions of, am I doing this for the money? Am I doing this for myself? Or am I doing this to help people? I was doing it for the money at first, and it showed. But now I'm doing it more so to help people, because I know it can help people, and I believe in it, and I've seen what I can do for other people, and I want to be that one that helps them, but I also want to be the one that's successful, because I know other people have been successful as well. So that's basically kind of all I have. You guys can, oh wait, just kidding. I have one more piece of thing. Moving forward, so I kind of gave you guys like my little gist. I'm sure everybody has their gist. September's a huge month. That's all everyone can talk about. Moon Nations is coming up next week. If you registered, your impact boxes should be here soon. I'm super excited. Mine comes soon too. Talk about it, hype it up. It's a good month. It's exciting. So I want you guys to write down what your goals are for this month, whether that be qualify for Vegas, whether that be actually attend Nations. You can still register. You just might not get a box, whether that be, you know, hit that new rank. And then I want you to write down like how you're actually going to do that. Write down the steps it's going to take to obtain that goal in that back office so that you know whether that be 1200 PV, whether that be 5,000 GV, whether that be, 4 MMPs, whatever that may be. Write that down and use that as like that sticky note method that everyone has, where they put the sticky notes on the wall and they cross them or they take them off. You can cross them off, but it also gives you, it forces you to actually go in and be like, I need to do this. I need to do that. These are the smaller goals that I need to accomplish my bigger goal. And then keep going from there. So that's all I have for today. I appreciate you guys. I hope I didn't like butcher that up too much. If anybody has questions or comments, the floor is yours. Oh, you guys are welcome. Thanks for listening in the whole time. I really appreciate it. I really do. It makes me feel bad. Makes me feel better. Yay, I'm glad you guys liked it. And you guys can use this for any month. That back page obviously says September, but you guys can use it every month if you want. You can share it with your team. You can share it with your girls. I don't care. It's there for everyone to use. It's okay. I know everyone has a life, but I appreciate you guys taking the last 40-something minutes to sit and chat with me. It's been great. I'm going to close this out, but if anybody has any questions, reach out to me in the group chat. You guys can reach out to me on Instagram. I mean, that's what I'm here for. Thanks, guys.